welcome back to another warm-up show with the hockey coach Guru Coach Francis Cliff on the Sunshine State in Florida. And we have to way all the way to the north in Toronto, Ontario to find a co-host, the insider, collaborator, moderator of the Hockey Nation Show, Mr. Inor Tap in the house today.
Happy Friday, Coach. And
Happy
Nation.
Friday, March 4th. 2022,
March 4th,
6
yes.
Eastern Time, 7 game on the program tonight, Mr. In our tap. Busy weekend in hockey.
Yeah.
I think you have 7, 10, and 8 this weekend. And, I do fantasy hockey, my video, the Sunday, everything like that. And 55 game next week.
Wow. Big
Unicorn. We have another unicorn next week.
Ooh. Who's our
The
unicorn?
Calgary Flames have an unicorn 5 game next week in 7 days. Ooh. And then we have 14 teams with 4 games.
Montreal.
So really busy week for them. Montreal play only 3 times. Honestly, it's considered like a 2 time, but it's 3 time. So they play Wednesday. They are back Saturday at home and Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
So we'll be honestly, so it'll be interesting to see that. But that would change a bit the standing, right? The standing is every night you have a game, you have to win like Dallas and Winnipeg example tonight. Really important game for them. So we'll be said that part. Today we have a busy day. Of course, we're going to do a prediction. We'll bring the best. We talk about the amazing prediction of Mr. Roger last night, the nooner. Was unbelievable last night. You can see at the bottom of the screen. More people was on the flap side, at the great side, but it's happened sometime. We have only one winner of the right score, and who it was? Nooner again. So he did it. He almost did a hat trick, but Jose Duarte win with Tresado last night with 3 points. And that's what happened about that. We're going to go there when the people will be back. We have a few people already in the house. Don't forget, guys, to click on the likes. That'd be awesome. Directly from L'Île Perrot, Mr. Richard Mullen in the house.
Hello, Richard. Welcome.
And we have the number 1 from Boston Bruins. You have a good night. You have 5W last night, Mr. Ross Stubbington in the house.
Hello, Ross.
And we have from Utah, Mr. Round with Kings, number 20, is also with us tonight.
Welcome.
He snapped his days with the right score last night after he got 2 or 3 straight. Now he lost yesterday also 3 and 6. We have Miss Kelly in the house. Welcome back, Miss Kelly. Also have another great night. Jose Duarte directly from the upstate New York, all the way to the close to Niagara Falls.
Yes. Welcome, Jose.
And directly from Finland, he is pumped because now he said, I have a bad night last night, 3 and 6, so I have to come back stronger. I'm talking about Mr. Jarmo Virtanen in the house.
Jarmo, welcome.
And we have the NHL Hockey News Report, one of the great supporters of the Hockey Nation Show. He was one of the, at the beginning of the Hockey Nation Show, always text me and everything like that. So Mr. NHL is going to be with us next week during the morning. He's going to talk about the trade deadline, so I'm going to invite him to join us morning at 12 o'clock, everything like that. So it'll be great to have what he's thinking about the trade deadline. Talking about trade deadline, we're not talking about Mr. Steve G. directly from Colorado is with us tonight.
Steve, welcome. Sorry about
and somehow, somewhere, we see RJ at the beginning. RJ is always show up, and then he stopped by after that. So Mr. RJ is with us.
RJ, welcome to the show.
And the only one fans in Newfoundland for the Montreal Canadiens. That's true. But she's a big one fans of the Montreal Canadiens. She's back at home after she's back from a trip of a couple of weeks. She's back with us. Ellen Keeve in the house.
Hello, Ellen. Welcome.
And Yamo said the Finnish president is now on USA. So we'll see what's happening about that. Ron King said, Coach, I was picking them. I thought we'll lose last night. Yeah, maybe you should flip the upside down. Maybe you become 6-3. But unfortunately, like us, we did not do well anyway overall. Ron, don't worry about that. I was lucky to get 4 because Boston beat someone. Yeah. So, oh yeah, they are talking about the polar bear in Finland now. Wow. I told you, Mr. Inotep, we have some beer, some bears in Finland about that. Here we go, the winner of the last night, ladies and gentlemen. Stand up and make some noise for Mr. Nooner, 8-1.
All right, Roger. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Mr. Nooner. Last night, one of the great performance about upside down and great record you got yesterday. Congratulations. Look like a jackaroo. Jackaroo is the bear in Finland, something like that. So we'll see about that one over there. Mr. Danny T talking about one brother. The next brother showing up. He's ready to drop the glove. Mr. Danny T in the house today. Welcome, Mr. Danny T, back from the shack maybe, or some fisher. Who knows?
Welcome, Danny.
And the NHL is ready to rock and roll the room also. Thank you, Coach Inotep. Friends, you're welcome. It's a pleasure. Very happy for you. You are the winner of this. Talking about the man, we just talked about him. Now he show up, the Mr. RJ Calabro Sport Scoreboard Schedule Update. And congratulations, RJ. I don't know yet, Mr. RJ, if I do a game tonight. I have to do a couple videos about Likanen. And I don't know yet if they don't have a lot of, I know Dallas and Winnipeg is a very good game maybe, but I don't know. I feel like tonight the game is maybe not there. So we'll see, RJ, what I'm going to do. Maybe just take a break. Who knows? Pierre Martin back in the house.
Welcome, Pierre.
And, Dinasty Sanja all week is back with us tonight. Don't forget, guys, to click on the likes. That'd be awesome.
Welcome.
And that's what we are at that moment. We have a couple of news around the breaking news for the Montreal Canadiens. I just make a video about this. We're going to talk a little bit more about the Montreal Canadiens. Just did it. And usually we do this. It's like CNN breaking news, but it's Hockey National Show breaking news. The Montreal Canadiens, the Director General, Ken Hughes, announced this afternoon around 4 o'clock they hire the new Director Players Development, Mr. Adam Nicholas, as the new Director of Players Development. Was working with the Toronto Maple Leafs as a consultant since like 2019. He was also consultant for the San Jose Sharks for a couple of years. He was the one did start the company's called AV Stride or Stride NV. If you go on the YouTube channel, he make a couple of videos with ex-professional players like long time ago, like 10 years ago. He turned out to really have one of the really as a personal private coaching power skating. He really recognized that one, like Daniel Belfry example for Toronto. So Adam now he became a full employee for the Montreal Canadiens, and that's the reason why Ken Hughes said he's going to find the people to surround the player spec and develop the player the right way by hire more people. So that's confirmed. Adam Nicholas, now the new Director General, new Director of Player Development. That's what's happening about this. We have, what are the 50 subs away from the 4,000? They are coming. They are at the door, and our bouncer, Mr. Danny, he will take a time. They need to verification, the COVID, the 19, and then they check the car. It just take a long process. So you want to be sure everybody is at least they get the booster. It's a lot of rules, but they are coming. We expect them to fill the next 60, 50, about 10, 12 more days, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll that one over there. Coach and attack, do you think Martin Jean would be a good for Dallas to get if they decide to not keep Oldby?
No, I like the way they're going right now with Ottinger. I think that's their hot goalie, and hope he's a good backup if he doesn't leave. Now, if that's part of a trade, then that's a different story. But I like Ottinger in there for them.
But the problem with that is they don't have anybody else.
Well, they right now they have Holtby, right?
Yeah, but now if Dallas trade Oldby, right, they don't have anybody. The next one is could have been is an American athletic, but he carry on at $3.4 million. So they were just increasing the salary cap. What is that's not they want to do. So I don't see Oldby it at $2 million. Like John become a UFA at the end of the year, and Johnson he is not been very good for the last 3 years on the stat wise. So I don't see what the move for them. For me, I think Dallas is going to keep Oldby and Ottinger together. They are the new ones coming for sure. I think so.
Yeah, I agree.
Ullman was one of the key players for the Avs yesterday.
Was one of the key players for the Habs win. I mean, he scored a very critical goal to go ahead 4-3 in that game. But I don't know. I think we have to extend the mulligan to him. I think we need to see him in a complete season here before we can make some decisions on him.
Yep. He was one of them. I think we don't give enough credit for Ski last night. Again, 3 more points. It's right now at 37, 38 points. Since like Martin St. Louis is coach now, Anderson Caulfield at 14 points.
Yeah.
Zuski has 13 points. Right? You have Hoffman, Petrie, Chariot, 7, 7, 8, 9 points, each one of them. Pitlick is 9 points with Saint Louis is there. So a lot more offensive is around there. Have a great conversation, Martin St. Louis, today about the power play. He said, I don't care. I came here to be sure we can play 5 versus 5. So I'm going to get there. We're going to set up the power play. But at that moment, it's really where I focus more on the 5 versus 5. So it was a great answer for him about that one. They are explaining about why there's no work. You know what I mean? He said, we cannot fix. I want to be sure the players understand what we have to do first and the 5 versus 5, and then we're going to fix this when it will be the right time. So it was a great comments about that. Thank you so much, Pierre-Martin. We deserve this.
The other thing that's good to see is we're getting a lot more production from our defenders.
Yeah,
we're getting points from Petrie, from Chariot, Kulik's chipped in, Weidman's gotten a few points, so that's good to see as well.
Hammond deserve get a star for last night performance.
Yeah, definitely. I thought he played well enough. He kept them in there. Unfortunately, more breaking news. He landed on the IR today, and we called up Caden Primo.
Yep. So Andrew Hammond out for a couple of weeks, and they called back Caden Primo. So I think he returned in Montreal, but I'm not sure. But Hammond hurt, and I think for me. Last night, Calgary shot 18 times during the third period, and he gave only 1 goal. It was the one. It was 6 versus 5. So we have to give credit to keep Montreal in the game last night for sure. And he's in the house. Yes, he have a mini car in his hands. He have a lot of keys. I'm talking about Dixon Automobile Group. Welcome back, Mr. Dixon.
Welcome, Dixon.
Mr. Ross, ask you this question to you. Did Rem Pitlick come up with a Nashville draft pick?
Oh, original draft? Well, he came to us right now from Minnesota. They waived him. I'm not sure. I don't think it was Nashville that drafted him. I could be wrong, but I don't think it was Nashville.
It was Nashville.
It was Nashville. It was Nashville. Okay.
Yep. Was Nashville what picked him up over there. The
He
story
was
about Rem Pitlick is it was because I'm always not sure is Pitlick. Yeah, so it's a Tyler came for the Seattle to the he
yeah,
got traded to the Calgary and then after that. So yeah, he came from
that's
Nashville for sure. I know that.
okay.
Then he came from the Minnesota, but he was drafted by them about that. And RJ gave us the update. Andrew Hammond placed on the injury reserve. Kaden Primo recall about that. Pitlick needs some goal. Even thought he's playing amazing. He missed some opportunities, honestly. I like the way
Yeah,
for me, he create opportunities. And
he's
that's
very aggressive.
that's really what we're looking for. Sometimes you don't score, but you create opportunities. Yeah. And Mr. Andrew is on the house. So welcome aboard.
Hey, Andrew. Welcome, Andrew.
And we have the Poutine. The Poutine Lazar is on the house. We're just missing the chef Tommy, maybe later. But welcome aboard. And now
Welcome
we
to
are
Team.
late. I'm late.
Yeah,
Mr. Notap, I'm late because I forgot again. He's back again on the face-off. It's face-off time. It's a face-off in our top. What pay his attention in the last 24 hours around the NHL. He's going to give us everything we need to know what's happening. Welcome back and drop that puck. The crowd is growling right now in the stand. Puck, drop that puck.
So, Coach, the streak continues, with the weaker teams and the upsets going on. I mean, last night we had again Arizona taking out Colorado. We had Pittsburgh beating not Philadelphia, Tampa Bay. Who else did we have? Washington scoring over Carolina. A few surprises there. It seems to be the theme of the night. That's why we're seeing poor predictions as well, except for Nooner, who went 8-1. But that's fantastic. Very quickly, some of the games in the Montreal game, we saw the continued impact that St. Louis is having on the team. I like the fact that he's getting the defense to chip in and join in on the play. The players are I've noticed some much more aggressive play from them and also great stick work, and that's what's causing a lot of turnovers, especially in the neutral zone, and it's creating opportunities for Montreal, and so they're starting to capitalize on a lot of those. We saw a very close game yet again. Minnesota finally pulled a game out from Philadelphia and came away with the 2 points with a 5-4 victory, but it was really two late goals that did that. That were at the heels of a couple of mistakes that Philadelphia made. It seems like they always find a way to lose Philadelphia, which is unfortunate for them. But in this case, Minnesota needed the 2 points. Florida and Ottawa, very rough game. Very rough game. We saw some heavy duty hitting. I like the fact that Florida really stands up for each other. So one person gets hit, you have to deal with the other four players that are on the ice, and that's critical, especially once they get into the playoff situation. Um, they spun a shutout yesterday with the 3-0 victory. Carolina, I took me by surprise. As you saw yesterday, I predicted, maybe Washington might be the odd team out, and Columbus might find a way to catch them. But maybe they heard me and went the opposite way. But I think they also used the words of McClellan to motivate them last night when he said that he wasn't gonna. He didn't see them as being Stanley Cup champion material, and so he wasn't going to go out and get anybody, and that the answer was within the change room. So maybe that turned it around for them a little bit. We'll see if this persists. Not Philadelphia, Pittsburgh. That was a surprise to me too. Another tough game with Tampa Bay. Um, I, the 5-1 victory wasn't the real story. It's all of the little subplots and Cooper getting kicked out of the game. And, I think he did that more to try to motivate the team and light a fire under them. Even in the press conference after, he made a comment, regarding the refereeing and the fact that, it was Perry that was the one that should have,
We have a fight. Brendan Point
yeah.
versus Chris Letang.
Oh, that was a nice one too. And then Brendan Point can throw them too. That was a good fight there. Um, Edmonton, again, they didn't score the first goal of the game, but at least they managed this time to get a point out of this. Chicago, kudos to them for hanging on there, usually a team that scores that late in a game, I think it was with about 40 seconds left, 48 seconds. They're usually the ones that come out strong. But I think it was Draisaitl in the overtime got a penalty right in the neutral zone by tripping. I don't know if it was Kane, but it cost them a key point, but at least they got 1 point out of it. Boston was very emphatic in their 5-2 victory over Vegas. Vegas, it's a different team, Coach. I'm telling you, with Pacioretty, Stone, and Martinez out of that lineup, it's a totally
They cannot
different
score right
game.
now. They have 1.9 goal per game average for the last 8 games.
That's right, and they're trying to play a more defensive branded game, but it's hard to do on a night to night basis unless you're putting up some goals as well. I still think they'll be okay once they get those players back in the lineup, and then finally, what can you say? It looks like Arizona's had Colorado's number all year. 3 games, they managed to win 2 of those. Um, the other one I think was overtime that Colorado won in. So anything can happen on any given night. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Um, McKenna was upset for ice stick
Yeah,
at the end of the game. Every time that would be really about that. And until last 1 point, all the out they're chasing over there, but the Kings don't do well. So it'll be interesting what that's race, up and down. And
big
again, a
game
lot of good
today.
game. Minnesota still the game. Honestly, they was losing. They
Yeah,
come back and they win 5-4. That's a good point over there. I don't know Tampa Bay last night what happening, but the game for me, Ottawa and Florida, 25 shot the first period for Florida,
yeah.
5 power play, only 1 goal. Forsberg was unbelievable
Oh
against
yeah,
them, and
amazing.
then during that first period, 3 breakaway by Connor Brown and shortened 3 times, never score.
Right.
Bobrovsky have he have a difficult game, couple of game like recently, right? The 3 last it was because of him, and last night was unbelievable between the pipe for the Florida Panthers. So good W for them, and they are back in first place, and Toronto lost, and then Tampa Bay lost for the Florida. That's good. It's a good night for them for sure. About
Go
that, we have
Phil, even
Mr.
more.
Joseph Laham and the house. Welcome aboard.
Welcome, Joseph.
And out top, he was right about Colorado game. He's always right. He's
Yeah,
wrong on the
but I took
prediction, but
Colorado
he's
anyways.
right on the highlights the next day. So that's the trend between. So you have to be sure you understand what's going on. That's happening about that. Yamu said Connor Brown is very good. PK, even he did not score, he would be good player for some team. Yep.
Connor Brown, yes,
Imagine Connor
yes.
Brown with Toronto,
Oh, I know.
and they trade him for Cody Sissy.
For nothing, basically. Yeah,
For Cody Sissy. It was all about that time they would have to figure out the money situation with the Kapanen, Nylander, and him
he's a
for
great
the.
kid, Connor Brown. He always gives a 110%. He never complains. Does
Yep.
his job that no matter what line he's put on.
We have Patrick Fan and Bert Bruzo in the house. Thank you so much to join us today. And Mr. Inartap, we have to go there because we have 5:30, almost 6:30. It's time to celebrate the winner of the day. And I'm talking about Nooner. Ladies and gentlemen, this was like usually a winner is very close with other people. He completely dominate and destroy each one of us last night. He has 8-1. The closest one is 5-4. Just give you an idea, the Mr. Nooner. And also, he had the right score. He's the only one. And finally, the fantasy is Jose Duarte. So, oh my God! Yes, they are the winner of the game. Here we go. Oh, Rivers. Winner of the day, Nooner, the star of the day today. Congratulations, Mr.
Way to go, Nooner.
Nooner, awesome. We'll be going to see about that. Yeah, he did. You hit 8-1 yesterday. He did it, Mr. Yamo. 8-1. 8-1. Unbelievable about that. We're going to see here, Mr. Inartap, because we're not going to go that direction tonight, but we want to open up. We talk about we're going to build a new saloon on the beach. And from this saloon, we're going to go to the beach now. And the next one's going to be ready next week. But right now, we work on it. So we have hired some people. Roger work on it. Nooner is one of the guys going to build that new the new saloon tequila in our tap bar. So we have to work on it, but we're getting there. So I just want to mention next week this bar will be open up for the fans of and the NHL is going to visit us at the beach. So I can't wait to see that. But talking about fans, Mr. Inartap, you did not know that, but we're going to have a couple of questions very quickly for you. It's not a big question, honestly. It's just about the team. So honestly, the Nashville Predators does not go well. They struggled for the last couple of games. They are almost like out of the playoff, everything like that. What's going on over there? What do you think happening over there? And what do you see them at the end of the season?
Yeah, you're right. Nashville sort of going back down. You know what, Coach? I was kind of surprised that they were as strong as they were at the beginning of the year. I think if we go back in our original predictions at the beginning of the year, I know I personally I had them out of a playoff position. I didn't think that they'd come up as strong as they did this year, but you know they've been getting great goaltending out of Saros. Yossi has been having a fantastic year, and of course Duchesne, has been fantastic. Forsberg is having a great contract year as well. And a few other players, like that's what kept them afloat. And now they're sort of coming back down to earth. And they also, at one point, they had played about 3 or 4 more games than everybody else. And so maybe we were looking at the standings a little bit with the wrong optics, right? We should wait to see what happens here now. They'll be hard pressed to make the playoffs, I think, because there's a heck of a battle going on in that Western Conference for those 2 wildcard positions for sure.
Mr. Tommy the Chef is with us tonight. The Chief is going to talk about food the next couple of minutes. That will come, honestly. Tommy, because the people don't know, you are, the Fair at Tap have a really good success the last couple of weeks, and on the marketing promotion, everything like that. And nobody knows, but we are launching a new way about the weight nutrition loss by Mr. Inartap in the next couple of weeks. So we're going to come in there, but we have to work right now on the beach saloon. But I can't wait to bring your new marketing company about the lose weight with Inartap in the next couple of weeks. So it will be really interesting to see that. Mr. Inartap,
losing weight a prerequisite?
I'm sorry again?
Is losing weight a prerequisite?
But that's something we have to put some rule inside the new one about that. Richard said they sound to be running of the gals about Nashville, about that. The next one, Mr. Notap,
Yeah,
they win last night, but
they did. They were lucky.
it was not easy, and it was the Flyers, and they are only 2-7-1 in the last 10 game.
Yeah, and right now they're sitting, I think, in third in the Central. So I still think they should have no problem getting in. Here's for me, here's a classical team, an example of a team that needs a good, solid pickup at trade deadline time, and these guys will be rolling. And I think it has to be a guy that has a forward that has good experience, has been in the playoffs before, plays a bit of a tough game as well, wins faceoffs. Because I noticed that with Minnesota, they have not been very good with winning their faceoffs, and as a result, that means you have the puck less, and the possession of the game means a lot. The possession of the puck. So. For me, a perfect fit would be Giroux here.
Sweet. Next one. The Washington Capitals.
I'm not a Washington fan. I don't know. I still think they've lost the step. I mean, I'm going to put last night aside. I'm not
Anthony Manta come back.
I'm sorry?
Anthony Manta come back with them now.
Yeah,
so that's a good place over there. The situation goaltender is a problem over there.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And you can't head into the playoffs with that type of situation. And Washington's notorious for not overpaying, especially their goaltenders. That's why they lost Holtby in the first place. You know what? I still think they might have just enough to hang on for the second wild card, but I could also see him slipping down a position, and if Columbus can really turn on the gears, they're going to give him a challenge.
Yeah, a big W last night, of course. Welcome, Mr. Alan Vaillancourt. Thanks for joining us tonight. Giroux to Minnesota would be a great fit from Pierre Martin.
Yeah.
The New York Islanders. And the point I bring to you is this part. What do you think they're going to do from today until the March 21st?
Well, again, here's a team that, I'm almost embarrassed to say I had predicted to win the Cup based on two final appearances, conference appearances the years before. I still think they have a good nucleus of players. I don't think that they're a team that needs to rebuild, but they had a whole succession of problems and things go wrong this year, from COVID, their stadium not being ready and playing all those games on the road to start off the season, and then some injuries. They haven't been scoring. Varlamov has had a horrible year in comparison to other years. I think they need to address some issues in the off season. Maybe I don't know exactly their cap situation and whether anybody's a particular free agent at the end of this year. So they might have to look at that, and they might want to get rid of one player there. But most of the changes will probably come in the off season, and I think they're a team that we have to give one more year and have a look at them. If they produce again like they did this year, then they've got to go a different direction.
We have to welcome back Mr. Alan Vaillancourt, like I mentioned. Also, Jean Grega now is with us at that moment. And don't forget, guys, to click on the likes. That'd be awesome. Nuno asking you, why did you not take the Montreal Canadiens last night?
Because Coach told me to take Calgary. So I did.
Honestly, no. It's I did not tell him that, first of all. Secondly, it's because Calgary was 9-1-0. Thirdly, they are 15-4-4. And fourthly, they win the last 11 games at home. So that's only those reasons why I did not take Montreal after they lost 8-4 against Winnipeg Jets. That's the reason about that one over there. Mr. Notap, it's time to find what?
Oh my God!
Yes, it
Who
is.
are they?
It's who are they? Who are they is the one to find who are they. The first one I want to mention to you, Mr. Inotap. First of all, Montreal Hour, Adam Nicola, so you can watch my video very quickly. But who are they? That's the first one. So far, everybody wait for Mr. Inotap. Bert said Bob Essessa. Wow, that's a good try, Bird. Maybe it's him. Martin Biron. No, 8-1, amazing. John Gregor, absolutely right about that. Yeah, Danny, Ben Sutton. They have Hutton over there, Danny. I cannot see the number. That's the point.
Yeah, I know.
That's the reason I put him there.
He hit it on us.
Alan says Edmonton Oilers. That's a good piece of the puzzle. Varlamov and Yamo is still cut with Valley Cat. Mr. Inotap, you are the winner of this one. We have Bill Renford over there, who is a goaltender.
I'm looking.
His first name is Victor.
Victor. Oh man, no, I
Victor
don't know.
Fast.
Oh, okay.
Victor Fast had a short career, but it was Victor Fast. He was the one over there. It wasn't an easy one, of course. It's Friday, so.
Oh my God!
I cannot give you the one. The next one, guys, it's an easy one for the Colorado Avalanche, number 41. And here we go. Who is the winner? Yes, Yamo, the Swedish players, Victor Borge. And that's what we are at that moment. Who is the goaltender? Yamo Victor Fast with the H. Yeah, everybody say I have a fast career. Yes, yeah. Yeah, he returned very quickly at home.
Very fast, obviously.
Peter Pudai, Justin Thibault. By the way, Steve G and Peter Pudai live in Denver. We have Cam Talbot, who's Edward, they said. Don't forget to click on the likes, and we are going to start the prediction after that. And Mr. Notap, are you the savior?
It's not. It's
What?
not Mark Dennis. Mark Dennis? No. Mark
He
Dennis.
go with the Boston Bruins before.
Oh, okay. 41.
John Graham.
Graham. Yes. Okay.
John Graham, he been there for a few times. The confusing about that is, I don't know why this, Bert, it was the only one did it. I thought more people would said Justin Thibault because he's number 41, but he's bigger as Justin Thibault. That was the problem with that part over there. But good try, everybody. Peter Pudai was not him allowed. Prediction of the night, 7 game on the prediction. One thing we can do, we can leave Nonard, they give us his prediction, then we can pick after him, and then we can go from there. But we'll see what's happening about that one over there. So it's time to step up. It's time to give us your prediction of the night. 7 game on the program, Mr. Inotap, and here we go.
Okay, so as we know, the Penguins are fresh off of that 5-1 victory at Tampa Bay last night, and they outshot them as well, 40-21. It was really a convincing victory with both Crosby and Malkin getting on the scoreboard. It was their third victory in a row. The Penguins tonight might turn to I think the Smith might be in net tonight for them.
Oh, I did not take the net. I apologize. I did not send the
Yeah, I'm
goaltender.
looking at Hammond and I'm going, I don't think so.
Sorry about. I just forget about that.
So it should I think in net, I think they both teams, Carolina and Pittsburgh, should have their backups in there. DeSmith for Pittsburgh and Ranta for Carolina. For Carolina, this too will be a back-to-back game against the Metropolitan Division contender. The Hurricanes are 9-5 versus divisional foes. Um, last night obviously they didn't fare very well, falling 4-0 to Washington. But it was just the second time this season that they were blanked. So with 3 games in 4 days, tonight's game could be another opportunity for Ranta to come in and hopefully put in a good match for them. He turned in a very strong outing on Tuesday with that overtime, even though it was an overtime loss at Detroit, but he was solid. No real complaints there. Um, I'm going to go with, I think they'll bounce back, Carolina, and they'll win this game 4-2, coach.
We have a bad news because Dono took Pittsburgh.
So 0-1. Here we go. Now, second game, more than half of the New York Rangers' 34 wins so far this year have required some kind of a comeback. And really, when you look at this, it's not surprising because it comes down to Shesterkin really keeping him in all the games, and that's why it allows them to get these comebacks going. The type that type of ability to sort of recover is among the reasons why the Rangers have lost more than two in a row just once this year. So usually, if they put in a game where they've lost, they always bounce back. They answer back, just like Carolina does, actually. New York's 18 comeback wins are tied for the league lead entering action going into tonight. One of New York's comeback wins at home occurred against New Jersey back in November. The Rangers allowed the first goal of the game to Bratt, squandering a pair of one-goal leads and earned a 4-3 win after Kreider scored the deciding goal in a 7-round shootout. New Jersey, on the other hand, mustered 12 goals during a 7-game slide from January 23rd to February 7th. And then all of a sudden they erupted for like 40 goals during its past 8 contests in which they've gone 4-4. The Devils have scored 21 goals in the past 4 games since Hamilton has returned, and also Jack Hughes has really come along nicely, and what that's done is it's given him a much more balanced attack, and their goaltending situation has been a little bit better as well. So we got Hamilton that has a goal and 2 assists in the past 4 games, and Jack Hughes has 9 points during that same span as well. The Rangers have won the past 7 meetings between the Devils and themselves, including 6 by at least 2 goals. So for me, that was the key fact, and so I'm going to take the Rangers to win this one 4-3. But I think it'll be a close one, though.
I got that one over there. Poutine, I missed the first game, Poutine, between Carolina and Pittsburgh. Poutine, you are on the alert right now. You're on the alert.
Okay. Well, with only 28 games left in a season that has shown promise, the Red Wings are going to get to know the Lightning very well. After tonight's game, Detroit will play Tampa Bay 2 more times before the season ends. I think one of the games is in Detroit on March 26th, and then back in I think it's in April, the other one, if I recall. in the first encounter that they played back in October, the Red Wings lost 7-6 in overtime. That was quite the game. It went back and forth for quite the entire game. Following tonight's matchup with Tampa Bay, Detroit's in the Sunshine State, so they're going to be playing the Panthers on Saturday. So they got a couple of real tough games coming up here. They're going to rely on guys like Raymond, who leads right now with the rookie points at 43 points in 54 games, including 5 goals on the power play, and he's had 2 of them in overtime as well. So he's proven to be clutch as well, not just um, in terms of volume. Not much went right for the Lightning last night, as we talked about earlier, when they played and fell to the Penguins 5-1. The loss snapped their season high 5-game winning streak, and its 7-game home point streak, which was at 6-0-1. With the Penguins up 3-1 late in the second period, things got really heavy duty there with some fights. It began to unravel for the Lightning. There was a brawl, and Corey Perry, of course, is always in the middle of it. He was assessed the second minor infraction because his name is Corey Perry. And of course, that incensed the whole team, including Coach John Cooper, who then was given a game misconduct. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that might be the first time he's ever been kicked out of a game. So,
Yep.
I think Cooper, like I said, kind of did it with a bit of an intention too. He wanted to sort of put a fire under Tampa Bay, but unfortunately, it didn't work last night. But I think it will work tonight. They should respond tonight and win, in my eyes, 3-2. Okay. And Tampa Bay. All right. And next game, we have LA and Columbus. Great game here going tonight. Patrick Laney will aim to continue his torrid play when they play Columbus tonight, or sorry, when they play LA tonight in LA, or no, in Columbus. We got Quick is playing, and Columbus will have Berube in net. So that's a bit of an advantage for LA in my eyes. Laney has 5 multiple point performances in February alone. He has 23 points in the past 14 games. He's always been a very streaky player, and right now he's definitely feeling it. Along with him, also the captain Boone Jenner has been really having a great year as well. He's the team leader in goals at 23 and points at 43. And he's been hot in the last interval as well. Voracek has also chipped in quite a bit, and that really explains their sudden surge in offense as well. Columbus has split the first 2 of its 5-game homestand. The Blue Jackets have won 3 in a row against LA, which, as I was going through the prediction, that was, came into play as well. The Kings, however, have won 5 in a row before they got blasted at the hands of Boston 7-0 on Monday, then opened a 4-game trip by blowing a 2-goal lead and losing 4-3 to Dallas as well. So all 4 goals by the Stars came in that second period, and 3 of them were in the final 5 minutes and something of that game. Despite the loss, the Kings are 8-1-2 in their past 11 road games, so that bodes well as well. And they've been getting great contributions from guys like Kempe and Dano. Of course, Kopitar has been going well as well. This one was a tough one for me, Coach. I really, I don't know. I think it could go either way, but I took LA to win this one. I think they're going to be motivated after 2 consecutive losses to get some points here, 4-2.
Got it.
Okay, and next we have Minnesota and Buffalo. Both Minnesota and Buffalo snapped skids this week, lengthy skids at that. Buffalo won, of course, 5-1 at Toronto. Nobody wants to know that, of course, to end the 5-game losing streak, whereas the Wild put an end to their 4-game skid last night with that 5-4 comeback victory against Philadelphia. The Wild still remain without defenseman Matt Dumba and forward Jordan Greenway with an upper body injury, though both did participate in morning skate. And I think, having these guys come back sooner than later will definitely help Minnesota in many ways, especially with Dumba in the lineup. I think he brings a little bit of physicality to the game. He's already missed 9 consecutive games, and Greenway has been out for the past 4. So I think Minnesota will continue to. I think Buffalo's happy after the last win, so I'm going to go with Minnesota to win this one 5-2.
Zuccarello is out.
Yeah.
Thank you, Yamo, for all the goaltender, by the way.
Yeah, I think this one, it should be Kakkonen and Anderson in this game.
Okay.
Next, Dallas and Winnipeg should be another doozy. Ottinger and Hellebuck should be starting. The Stars have been one of the NHL's best teams over the past 6 weeks. A portion of that success really has come at the expense of the Jets. Looking to continue their winning ways, the Stars aim for a 3rd consecutive victory overall and 3rd against the Jets in 3 weeks tonight. So that's kind of their nemesis there. Since January 20th, Dallas is 12-4-1. In an attempt to pursue a playoff spot, of which they've gotten themselves into now. 7 of those wins have been decided by 1 goal, including overcoming that 2-goal deficit in the 2 period of a 4-3 triumph over the Kings on Wednesday. For me, what I've seen is it's been the secondary scoring that has really helped them out. We've seen Ben has contributed, Sagan has contributed, and when you got 2 lines going, that makes it a lot more difficult to hold the team back. And of course, Ottinger has been solid all year long, really, for them. Dallas won 6 straight road games before going 0-1-1 in its last 2. Winnipeg, who knows what you get with Winnipeg, right? We've seen both sides of Winnipeg. They're in a very difficult situation to try to get a playoff spot. They really live and die by guys like Connor or Scheifele to get points for them, goals especially. But more importantly, they live and die by how Connor Hellebuck plays. And even though he's had a good year, by his standards, it's not where it should be. And really, I think that's been part of the difference. Even though this will be a close game, I'm going to take Dallas to continue their winning ways by a 5-4 score.
Winnipeg.
Okay, and the final game of the night, we have Vegas will probably start Brassard, and Anaheim will have Gibson in net after losing for the 6th time in 8 games to Boston yesterday and barely clinging to a Western Conference playoff spot. Vegas hit the road for Anaheim to face the Ducks in the 2nd game of a back-to-back. Vegas, really an overwhelming preseason favorite to win not only the Pacific, but I think a lot of people had deemed them to maybe go to the finals as well. And we'll see if that comes to fruition or not. Again, we talked about this a little bit earlier. I think that once they get all their injured players back and into the lineup, it will make a big difference for him. My only concern is how they're going to fix their salary cap situation, because something has to give there. So that might be settled before the trade deadline. And also, if they get these players like Pacioretty and Martinez and Stone back very late in the year, I worry about the chemistry that the lines may or may not have. And if that chemistry isn't there, even though the players are there, it could very well lead to a first round exit for them. I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to need at least, I would say, at least 10 to 15 games to play together and try to establish some sort of consistency going into the playoffs, and being on a high note. Anaheim comes in after a dramatic 4-3 victory over Boston on Tuesday, as Zegras scored the winning goal on a power play with just 22 seconds left after the Bruins had really rallied from a 3-1 deficit. This is the fourth meeting between these two teams. Vegas has won both meetings in Vegas, 5-4 in a shootout, and then 3-1 on New Year's Eve. And the Ducks picked up a 6-5 victory in the only other meeting in Anaheim. So again, I think this will be a very close game, but I'm going to go with Vegas to win this one 3-2.
Three to two.
Yeah.
I have Kelly, Joseph said Shire. Kelly 4-1. Richard Monisset Kaprizov. John Grigos 5-3.
Ooh, a lot of Anaheims, I see. Eh?
A lot of Anaheim. And the bad news for you, Noner took Anaheim. Just let you know. Here we go. Let's move on to the... I'm getting worse and worse right now. I'm behind about minus 23. Tonight I go to Minnesota, Edmonton, Letang, Kaprizov, Panarin, and AO.
Okay, and I'll take the Rangers, Mo Sider, Doughty for LA, and then forwards Robertson, Eichel, and I had Zuccarello, but he's out. So I will go with... Did you take Aho? Yeah, you did. Of course. I will take... Who will I take? Let me go with...
Now you're good. You took Eichel, Zuccarello, Robinson.
Yeah, but I think Zuccarello might be out tonight. I believe.
Yeah, he is out.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with...
you want me to pick you on for you?
Zibanejad. No, that's okay, cool.
I can give you one for you.
Yeah, I'm sure. Hammond.
Good row for Minnesota.
That's okay.
That's what we had at that moment. I pick up everything. If you make some chance, I got you. By the way, Team Mini Goalie and Karen both have 2 goalies. Putin, have an amazing, great night. Before you leave, guys, don't forget to click on the like. That'd be awesome. We appreciate your participation. All the result of tonight would be Monday. This weekend, we have also Sunday night. We are Let's Talk Abs. We are back with Andrew and In Our Tap at 9 o'clock p.m. If you want to give you a score for the weekend, you can email me at coach@coldfrenchy.com. My friend is Kaprizov for Mr. Nooner. I got it. And before we leave, we want to remind everybody, of course, Mr. In Our Tap, you're not done yet because... what you talk about, Coach? Because it's time for the breakout breakaway, Mr. In Our Tap. There we go. Shoot out, In Our Tap. What are you looking for? Not only tonight, but during the weekend. You are right now on the breakaway. You just crossed the blue line, and we're going to see where you're going to put the puck tonight. Here we go, Mr. Enoch.
Yeah, I just want to focus on a couple games tonight. I'm really curious about that LA and Columbus game. I think you're going to get a classic game here. They're going to go hard at each other. It should be a very good game. And the other one, actually two other ones, Dallas and Winnipeg should be very interesting as well. Winnipeg is at home, so that's a bonus for them. But you know what? I think Dallas right now is really rolling. And I think I think Winnipeg will want to set a physical tone to the game. And I'm kind of curious how Dallas will react to that. And then finally, as we mentioned, Vegas and Anaheim has huge implications on the standings. I know there's still a lot of games to go still, but you got to try to pick up points where they may. And wouldn't be surprised if these two teams are close that they'll play for the tie and hope for the best in overtime.
Yeah, absolutely right. Dallas, Winnipeg, really what this tonight, right? But a lot of other teams like Nashville, how they going to respond this weekend? Every turn of that. The Vancouver, they still, still in the race far, but they never can shop yet. So it will be important if Vancouver can have a good weekend also for them. And then Columbus, big game tonight. If they win tonight, they are still, try to catch up the Washington Capitals. So a lot of teams, honestly, have a good weekend. It will be interesting to see. Follow and Montreal, of course, play tomorrow night at, again, the Edmonton at 7 o'clock. We're going to be doing this for sure. Until then, my friend, we wish you, everybody, a great weekend. A lot of people leaving now. We want to let you know we'll be back again tomorrow. And until then, Mr. Natap, we want to remind everybody, you are awesome. You are amazing. Yes, you are. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you. Thank you so much, Mr. Awesome. He's too excited. That's why he's talking too much. Thank you so much, Mr. Natap, for the week. We appreciate
Always
your insight all the time, and we're your collaborator, of course. And I can't wait to see you Sunday night at 9 o'clock p.m. Until then, we wish you an amazing, great weekend with you and your family and your friends. And for everybody else, we wish you an amazing, great weekend. Of course, be sure to be nice with everybody. Be careful. And, of course, be well and be healthy. And find a way not only to dominate your day, but find a way to dominate your 2022. An amazing, great night, everybody. Booyah! Good night. Good night, Luke. Danny. Nooner. Jose Duarte. Richard Modern. Yamo. John Gregor. Joseph Laham. Kelly. Poutine Lézard. Pierre Martin. Alan Vaillancourt. Russ Stumpington, Dave Zucker, welcome back. Tommy, thanks for stopping by. Don't forget, guys, to click on the likes.